I was curious. I wanted to talk just for a minute about the State of the Union speech, which was given this week.
Is
The
it still going
president.
on? Is it still on? I
It's
don't
still
know.
on. It was over 10, had to be over 10,000 words. I didn't go check what the word count. It probably was more closer to 12 or 13,000 words, but it was awfully long. But, in fairness to Trump, I think it was from a political perspective, it was pretty effective speech. I was surprised at how little he did the weave. He did a little bit of freelancing. I thought he would do a little bit more than he did. So I'm sure Susie Wiles and others were rather pleased. And of course, he had a moment there where it was obviously contrived, where he asked the he asked the people to stand if you supported legal American citizens over illegal immigrants. And sure enough, as predicted by a lot of people, that was immediately turned into an ad that is Republicans hope will help them in the midterms. I think we have a piece of that ad. Can we show that ad taken from the State of the Union speech?
If you agree with this statement, then stand up and show your support. The first duty of the American government is to protect American citizens, not illegal aliens. These people are crazy.
Chris, I want to get your thoughts on whether that moment, as contrived as it was, will help the Republicans, as because they're looking for ammo here. They know they're in for a tough cycle here. They're almost in the sort of fetal crouch, if you will, just getting ready to get hammered on this thing. And so, they're looking for what do they have to work with here? I always say that what do we have to work with, whether you're a Democrat or Republican? And on the Republican side, this is something to work with, right?
Well, the president did, we talked last week about three things that the president could do, right? And the first order of business was to get Republicans back. When we look at the president's numbers with Republicans, they're still very strong, but now they start with an 8 instead of a 9. And his favorability and approval among Republicans is weakening. And it's the anxiety among Republicans. And I think we can still point back to the two shootings in Minnesota and Greenland as the moment where it was like, oh my gosh, what's going on? Right? Like, what is happening here?
Yeah.
And you've seen it on the Epstein files and a bunch of other stuff in tariffs in Congress, where Republicans are starting to get mouthy. And the president's first job was get the Republicans back. He doesn't have a big majority. He needs party unity, and he needs to play the hits. And he did. You talked about the weave. I think he was 85%, 90% on prompter.
Absolutely.
He did not go berserk on the Supreme Court. He did shake Amy Coney Barrett's hand. We had to review the tape like the Zapruder film, but he did in fact touch the hand of Amy Coney Barrett.
We had to get the reverse camera angle for that.
Exactly.
We did.
But all in all, right, I'm reminded of the Joe Biden speech in 2024 when Democrats were like, we got a problem with this guy. He is falling to pieces. And he gave he gave a State of the Union speech that if another president had given, he would have been hospitalized immediately after. But because of the low expectations for Biden, Democrats were like, yeah, it's okay.
He got through it.
He didn't fall down. So for Trump, he did not go into a spittle-flecked rant screaming at people or whatever. We didn't see the same Trump as we saw in the press conference he had about the tariff decision. So that was helpful for Republicans, and it was good. Of the many reasons to detest the primetime State of the Union address as an institution, one of the big ones is it's not a unifying moment for the country. It is not a unifying moment for the country. The CNN every year does a poll after the State of the Union, and they say, wow, people really like the State of the Union. Who's watching? Who do you think at 11:30 p.m. is like, oh, I was glued to the whole thing and I watched it? Whether it was Barack Obama or whether it's Donald Trump, nobody is hate watching until 11:30 p.m. and then is like, I would love to take a poll to tell you about how much I enjoyed that address. So the State of the Union is a bad institution as we have it, and part of the reason it's bad is that it has stopped being a unifying moment for the country, and it's a partisan this, that, and the other thing. As for the material question of can Republicans make Democrats pay a price for not standing up when Donald Trump told them to stand up? Maybe. Tell me the race though. Which race specifically is the one where there are voters who are like, I'm ready for a change, but I am concerned that the Democratic candidate for Congress in my race is not respectful of Donald Trump's urgings on illegal immigration. There may be some voter. The president, let's see, he has a 20 that was a CNN, a good CNN poll or a useful CNN poll had, I think, a 27% approval rating with independent voters.
Oh boy.
I think this is self-talk for Republicans, and self-talk is important. I don't want to discount self-talk. Psyching yourself up into like, yeah, and we've got it is way better than, as you say, just in a crouch. So anything in this case is better than nothing. And I think the president achieved a lot of what he needed to do in the speech just by making Republicans feel good. And the best way to make Republicans feel good is to say, look at these terrible Democrats. They hate America, these garbage people. We're better than them. And if you continue that one click further, that's the core of the Republican message has to be the core of the Republican message in 2026, which is, it's weird. It's not great. But look at these people. You can't go back to these people. These people are even worse than we are.
Yeah. Well, they even used a tagline on this new ad that specifically and purposefully echoed the tagline that was used in an ad at the close of the Trump presidential campaign, which is basically, Trump's for you, she's for they, them, Trump is for you. And they did some variation of this on the new ad, which is, these Democrats that are sitting, look at them, and Trump is for you, and they're for the illegals.
What Republicans really need is messaging independent of Donald Trump. That's what they need. So how many, by the way, we got hanging fire at the Supreme Court. We're waiting on it could be next week, a ruling on the Voting Rights Act that could reshape maps, right? And change a bunch of southern states, if they are out from under the Voting Rights Act, could be doing what Texas did, and in a lot of new places. And this could be a big shift, and it could throw open that question. But let's think about the very small number of seats. So is it 20 seats where it's competitive, 25 seats where it's competitive? The Republicans if we're talking just about the House, the Republicans who are running in those districts need distance from Donald Trump. That's exactly what they all need. They all need the same thing, which is, no. I voted for the guy, but I'm holding him accountable. That's what everybody needs in a midterm cycle when your party's in power. And it's particularly true when you have an unpopular president. You need the ability, as Republicans said, I've spent a lot of time, because I'm cool, I've spent a lot of time looking at the 2006. And the closest analog is 2018, right? Same president, same media environment, same, all of that stuff. But I've been looking at 2006 because I'm seeing some resonances here where, with independent voters and with people who are typically not open to Democratic entreaties, that's where Republicans are right now. And that's not where they want to be. And to get out from under that, they need independence. They need separation from the president.
Yeah, interesting separation from the president. Today, the president is going to Texas, and I just read that he's invited all three Republican candidates to some visit that he's doing. So he's still playing them against each other, and he's not willing to make an endorsement. And of course, that's driving Cornyn crazy.